Good morning. I'm humbled and honored to be speaking with you on Mother's Day. What a beautiful day. And when I was preparing for this and reading through the gospel, I felt like Jesus was talking to me as a parent, saying, have faith. Trust me. I know what's best for you. And it made me think that, our relationship with our parents, and for me with my children, is one of the closest examples that I have of the love that God has for me. I know that I personally have learned so much about God and His love for me and what He wants for me by being a parent and by being parented. And so if I may for a moment talk to you a little bit about my parents. I had amazing parents and blessed to have two wonderful folks who raised us. And since it's Mother's Day, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my mom. She grew up in a home of immigrants. They were an Irish, Catholic, and French home. She is the youngest of six. And so it goes without saying that they went to daily mass. That was part of who they were at that time. And the reason I know that they went to daily mass is because my mom often reminded my brother and I of this if we ever hesitated with any enthusiasm about going to weekend mass. She would go through the litany of, I went to daily mass as an infant, and child, and as a teenager, also as a young adult, and into her marriage. And so it was a part of who, she is. It's a part of who she is today. But as she had her own family and got busy, it was more of a challenge to get there every day. And so it really became more of a life of service, and she honored God through the works that He would want her to do. And it really impacted my brother and I as we were raised. One particular example of this is from when I was about 10 years old, and it was Christmas Day. We had a great day planned. The traditional present opening, breakfast, mass, and then a wonderful supper at our home with my aunts and uncles and cousins. And we just, finished our morning ritual. She rushed us upstairs to get ready to go to church, because you were never late, right? That was not something that happened in our house under my parents' watch. And so we were hustling around, getting ready, and the phone rang. And I couldn't really hear what she was saying, but I could tell by the fury in the kitchen that she was in a hurry and something was going on. And all of a sudden, she called up the stairs and said, "Hey, don't put on your church clothes. Instead, just throw on a casual outfit and make it fast." And I could tell by her voice, I was a little bit nervous. It wasn't that, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble voice, but it was not her Christmas morning voice. And so we all rushed down to see what she was talking about and what was going on. She let us know she had received a phone call from a really good friend who was working over at the soup kitchen, and they were suddenly short of staff and help for Christmas Day. They were expecting a record number of folks that day, and they really needed us to get there quickly. So there we were. Our plan for Christmas Day was suddenly changing. But in my 10-year-old mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go to the soup kitchen. This is great. But how are we going to get to church? Because right when we come home from the soup kitchen, our family will probably beat us home, actually. But I didn't say anything because, we didn't question our parents or resist what they asked of us. We just went along. But it really was not sitting well with me. How do you miss church on Christmas Day? You just don't do that. So I kind of kept pushing that question down and not wanting to challenge my parents, but, we're going to get in the car, and all of a sudden I looked at her and I said, "Mom, what about church? What are we going to do? We're not going to have time to go." She looked at me, and she gave me one of those looks that moms are really great at giving. You know the look, just dead in the eyes, no flinching, no blinking, no loss of eye contact. unwavering. And very calmly, she said to me, "Trust me, in this situation, I'm pretty sure that God would rather have you serving his people than sitting in a pew." Now we would get in the car, and so, okay, all right, fine, get in the car. You know, and it's still, okay, trust her, it's fine. But it's Christmas, we're not going to Mass, this is not good. So we get in the car, she could tell I was still uneasy. She turned around and offered up a little footnote and said, "You know what, if you're really worried about it, just spend a little extra time tonight praying and thank God for your blessings, because I'm sure you'd be well aware of them after we're done." And you know what? She's right. We had such an amazing Christmas. And what I learned from that really affected me in two ways. First of all, you know my prayers that evening were significantly different than what they would have been. I realized that my life as a 10-year-old wasn't the life that all 10-year-olds were having. And then I also realized that my mom, who, is always overly prepared, early, on the ball. I sometimes wonder if I'm adopted, because I don't always see that translating, but she is always with it. She had to suddenly change her plan. She wasn't used to doing that, because it really wasn't anything she ever needed to do. She was on it. But she had to be open to the opportunity that God had for her. And there it was, and she accepted it. And that really impacted who I am as a person today and who I am as a parent. I know my husband and I tried to embrace that idea and teach our children the same message. Don't know if we get it right all the time. But I have to say, I'm so grateful for the chance to talk with you, because sitting down and going through the readings to the level that I did this week, it really gave me a chance to think about, I ask my children, my husband and I ask my children, trust us, have faith, we know what's best for you. And I hope that I respond to God the same way that I'm asking my children to respond to me.